Republican of Pennsylvania right now. Senator, good to see you again. Welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
We're almost going to have to do this on an a la carte basis, provision by provision, just to get a sense of what's in this bill right now, since we haven't seen it yet. But on the individual mandate repeal, Senator Cotton thanked his colleagues like you for putting the provision in there, but then we heard from Chairman Hatch saying it's not in there yet. Can you clear that up for us?
I think that's just a drafting question. I think it is going to be included. We're going to include a provision to repeal this very onerous tax on low-income Americans, and we'll take this up. We'll take it up tomorrow when we have the new actual legislation.
Senator, if that's the case, does that mean you don't have to delay the corporate tax cut to 2019?
Look, at this point, we're going to continue with the structure that we have, which delays the corporate rate until January 1st of 2019. Keep in mind that the provision that allows full expensing of capital expenditure kicks in on January 1 of 2018. So the incentive to make new investments, which will really spur economic growth, that occurs on day one, and it's even more pronounced when the deduction can occur against a current 35% rate.
And as you know, your deliberations have to be taken into context of what the House is doing on the state and local deductions. You want to eliminate it completely where the House put a cap of $10,000. Where's the middle ground on that, if anything, or are you guys going to try and stand pat on that?
You know, I think the Senate is going to proceed with the provision as it is, which would disallow the deduction of state and local taxes. That is one detail. It's an important detail, but it is only one of many important details in how we deliver lower taxes for the folks we represent. We are adjusting rates, we're adjusting bracket thresholds, we're adjusting the child tax credit, we're doubling the standard deduction. The net effect, and this is all that matters to my constituents, the net effect is the vast majority of tax filers are going to be paying less in taxes to the federal government.
Senator, a lot of the public is probably a little bit confused by this bill because it's basically corporate tax reform kind of now being talked about as individual tax reform. Which is more important to you, that corporations get a tax cut or that individuals get one?
Look, they're both very, very important. But it's not just a corporate tax cut. So let me take them one at a time. First of all, as I said, the vast overwhelming majority of individuals are going to have a tax cut. They're going to owe Uncle Sam less money. That direct savings is a pay raise for the folks that I represent. At the same time, it's a very good idea, and for those very same people, that we make our business tax code competitive. It's completely uncompetitive. We've got arguably the worst business tax code in the industrialized world, and we're going to change that to one of the best. We're going to lower corporate rates to 20%. We're going to allow full expensing of CapEx. We're going to fix our international piece so that U.S.-based multinationals can be competitive. And when we do those things, that is going to encourage more investment, more economic growth. We're going to make the corporate rate permanent. That is going to provide certainty that people want to invest in the United States. And all of that will translate to more demand for workers and higher wages.
I want to ask you about a controversial issue, but it seems Senator McConnell is dealing with it head-on today, and I want to get your opinion of this on Roy Moore running for the Senate in Alabama. I mean, clearly, if you lose that seat to the Democrats, this puts a lot of these deliberations into question. What's your view on Roy Moore? Should he continue to run or not? And should it be Jeff Sessions as a write-in candidate, as Senator McConnell is suggesting this afternoon?
So, look, I've made my views on this clear. I think the accusations have more credibility than the denial, and so I've suggested I think it would be best for Roy Moore to step aside. But I don't control that, and the people of Alabama will make that decision. What we've got to do is move ahead on the biggest and best tax reform since at least the mid-1980s. That is what I'm focused on, and getting the hopefully every last Republican, and I hope some Democrats. In the end, actually, I think that's entirely possible, because tax relief for middle-income families and tax reform that makes American business competitive, that's a pretty good combination.
All right. Senator, thanks for your time. Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania.